Turmoil, panic, and sell-off. Your guide on how to ride out the stock market roller coaster. Also, a global push to get companies to pay more tax. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Welcome to Globe Now. There's a lot of nervousness when it comes to the global economy. And in Canada, there's the key factor of the collapse in oil prices. And lately, it's all playing out in the markets. How so? Well, stocks have been tumbling. Whether it's here in Canada or in stock markets around the world, there's plenty of angst. So, how to ride out the current stock market turmoil? The Globe's markets columnist, David Berman, joins me now. Hi, David.
Hi.
So, a lot of people are wondering, where is the safe ground?
Well, right now, stocks, commodities, everything is going straight down. And I think there's a sense that there is no safe ground. Right. People are rushing into sort of U.S. assets, particularly U.S. bonds. That worldwide is seen as sort of a safe parking spot right now, but it's a very uncertain time.
So what is the lesson here, do you think, for the investor?
One is this sort of volatility lets us know what kind of risk tolerance we have. And when you see stocks tumble, we can kind of look at our portfolios, we can kind of do a gut check and find out just kind of what sort of volatility we can take. And if we can't take it, then maybe we should not be so aggressively positioned in our investments, and particularly stocks. And the other thing is that we just have to realize that this is what the stock market does on occasion. Usually, but once a year, stocks tumble about 10% in a particularly volatile time. And lately, during the bull market, last 3 years, stocks haven't been doing that. It's been a very smooth ride. So this is sort of a reality check for investors.
So reacting to this market meltdown, maybe not such a good idea. Maybe it's better to think about the next one?
You should always look ahead. Yeah. But also, it's a good buying opportunity. If you've been sort of, afraid to join the rush into the stock market, then, falling prices are great. As Warren Buffett says, when stocks go on sale, he kind of likes that.
I mean, let's talk a little bit about what triggered all of this. How people make sense of this meltdown. What happened?
Well, there's lots of theories out there. I think the main one is there's a reassessment of the global economy. For a while, the U.S. economy was growing fast. Jobs were being added. It all looked good. Europe seemed to be recovering. Japan was reforming its economy. China was doing okay. But now there's a dramatic reassessment. Europe may be going into recession. Japan is still suffering from deflation and weak economic growth. And China, we have no idea what's going on in China right now. So people are scared that the global economy is going downhill. How bad it's going to get? Well, fears suggest that people are worried that it's going to go down pretty hard. People are reassessing their forecasts for economic growth for this year and next. How bad it gets, I don't know, but sometimes things surprise on the upside too.
Yeah, interesting. There's always that conversation about, where's the bottom, in terms of this, ride, and that's just very hard to tell, isn't it?
Oh, you can't. You can never tell the bottom. I mean, in 2008, the downturn there, it looked like every day people were calling a bottom and trying to guess where the bottom was. You have no idea. I mean, a typical correction is sort of 10 to 20%. The TSX is down about 12% now. The S&P 500 hasn't corrected. And actually, most indexes in North America are still up for the year, particularly the TSX. It's up almost 2%. So
now, in terms of, the cool heads, right, in this market, who can see the opportunity, is there something we can put our finger on in terms of an opportunity?
I think what you have to do is, look at sort of companies you've been following for a while, companies that are profitable, companies that increase their dividends every year. These tend to be fairly safe companies over the long term. And riskier companies, what are called cyclical companies that kind of go up and down with the economic cycle, they can get hit pretty hard. But if you see a stock that increases its dividend every year, is extremely profitable, did well in the 2008 downturn, and it's selling off now, it can be a pretty good buying opportunity.
Okay. David, thank you so much. Well, we want to hear from you. What's your strategy in the current stock market turmoil? Tweet us at Globe Now. So, investors coming under a lot of pressure in the markets. Well, here's a story about how global companies could come under pressure when it comes to corporate taxes. We've all heard of tax avoidance, but what exactly is it? Well, the Globe's Jeff Gray explains it in 90 seconds.
Holes in the international tax system allow some of the world's biggest multinational companies, such as Apple, Amazon, and Starbucks, to get away with paying very little or no corporate income tax. Governments around the world are now moving to plug some of those holes, but for now, many multinationals are avoiding billions in taxes and avoiding them legally. Here's how a typical scheme works. Octopus Corporation, a fictional US-based multinational, makes and sells a product. but it keeps patents for that product in Bermuda. Octopus has affiliated companies in each country where it operates, called subsidiaries. Each one imports and sells the product and is supposed to pay tax on the profits it makes in each country. However, Octopus charges all of its subsidiaries a license fee to use its patent. That profit is then legally sucked away to Bermuda, which not only has lovely weather, but a corporate income tax rate of 0. As much as $2 trillion is stashed offshore worldwide using this and similar techniques. But the OECD and the G20 have recently proposed new rules. The idea is to charge tax in the places where value is actually created. So, Octopus Corporation and real companies just like it might one day see their tax bills rise.
Well, that's all for today's show. If you've got a moment, hop onto Twitter. What do you think of a global push to curb companies from using tax avoidance schemes? Tweet us at Globe Now. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Thanks for watching.